Testing. 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 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing. I can't hear myself either, like in my ear. What? Testing, testing. 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 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. Testing, testing. 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 Testing.
plugged everything and put it back in. That goes through tape out, right? Tape out is, yeah, pretty good. So Seth can hear himself now talking like on the headphones, but it's not getting anything out. I know it's hard to do that on the phone. And I'm just looking, everything looks to be pretty much in the middle. Mic 1 is all the way up actually on max, and main is on max.
Testing, testing. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the DF Burns Arena. Today's game is between the Tri-Penn Osprey and the Pinnacle Growlers. So both of these teams are two very well-matched teams. One of the games they played against each other, which was the last weekend they played, that went to overtime, and that was 4-3 win for the Pinnacle Growlers. Cole Goss scored the OT winner in that one. So, folks, yesterday's game ended 9-2 for the Pinnacle Growlers. So the Tri-Penn Osprey are looking to bounce back in this game and steal away the Pinnacle Growlers' first home defeat. They have not lost on home ice yet this season. All their losses have come on the road. All right, folks, so both of these teams are antsy to get at each other. Yesterday evening, they got to miss school for the game yesterday, so I'm sure none of them were complaining about that. The Pinnacle Growlers took that game 9-2, as I mentioned, so they're looking to sweep this homestand. But the Tri-Penn Osprey are looking to hand the Pinnacle Growlers their first home loss of the season. But it's going to be tough with Clay Ryan undefeated all year, home and away. He's not going to let any pucks past him, let me tell you that. Two well-matched teams about to go at each other. It's the Osprey and Growlers. I am the voice of the Pinnacle Growlers, Seth Hyde, and we are at DF Burns Arena. Here come the Osprey, and the attack already. Fowler shoots, that heads over the net, and Crane is chasing it down by the boards. Now here come the Pinnacle Growlers the other way. A big check on Reese Sexton to kick off this game. Chaotic start so far. Now Crane gets it by Devereaux. Daw plays it back. Cleary giving it over to Daw. He gives it to Sexton. Sexton dumping it in, and he heads for a change. Harris down behind the net. Harris spinning around Porter, and he gives it back across to Laundry. Reardon picks it up. He plays it to Green. Green gives it up the ice to Sparks. That's dumped back in and picked up by Harris. Harris tried to get it to Sparks. That goes all the way down for icing. So, folks, the game I called last night, the Bigs Avalon Junior Capitals are in Game 5, which is the equivalent of a Game 7, and that is in CBS right now. And last time I checked, it was 1-0 for the CBR Renegades. Maybe their lead increased, or maybe the Bigs took the lead or tied the game. So I will keep you posted on that one. Also, I forgot to mention, Adam Curry and Clay Ryan are starting in goal for both teams. Adam Curry has a 4.6 goals against average, and Clay Ryan has a 2.4. And now here comes Sparks. He lost it in his feet. He tried to give it out front to Laundry. That's turned over to Curnew. Curnew coming in with Vitch to his side. He feeds it. That head's just wide. It nearly took a nifty bounce into the net. It almost went into his favor. Here's Reardon the other way. Reardon, pass across to Sparks. He shoots and saved the net by Ryan. Reardon fires. That heads wide. Curnew picks it up on the boards. Curnew dumping it down the ice. Vitch went for the kick. Byrne down behind gives it to Whalen. Whalen up the ice. Nobody's there. Goss with Kennedy coming in with speed. Played over to Hiscock. Hiscock to Butler, that hit off his stick. Dawson plays it down the ice. Cooper gets it back. Cole Cooper over to Goss. Nick Goss. It hits off the back of Matthew Butler's equipment. Played up the ice to Butler. Hiscock had to deke around Butler, and that is offsides. Randall winning it over to Skinner. He leaves it for Goss. And as I mentioned last week, he was doing a bit of late night training. That was his first game back last week, so he was trying to get ready for that game. Here's Cooper with it. He feeds it around to Cole Goss, who plays it up ice. Here come the Pinnacle Growlers trying to get something on the go. Randall giving it back to Cooper to Goss. Goss at the hash marks, flips it up to Randall. He tried to get it around his back. Green plays it up the ice. Pitcher is going to intercept Daw, plays it to Goss, and now Skinner. Skinner dumping it down the ice. Tucker coming in with the hit on Skinner. Devereaux gets it back. Daw tried to get it to Skinner. That goes down the ice. Curry plays it around the boards. Crane couldn't get there. And now here come the Tri-Pan Osprey the other way. It's Crane feeding it back across. Here they come. Out front to Fowler. He scored! Kyle Fowler, his 5th goal of the season, his 10th point, and it's 1-0 for the Tri-Pan Osprey. So the Osprey strike first here. A beautiful feed in front. Beautiful feed in front by Christian Reardon. He got that pass from Alex Crane. And then a wonderful finish from Kyle Fowler. Crane plays it back in, and what a burst of energy here for the Tri-Pan Osprey. It's Fowler again. He almost got it. Whalen nearly kept it in. Turned over to Crane. In comes Crane the other way. That's turned over the Pinnacle Growlers, working their way up the ice. Here goes Morgan Porter. Back to Sexton. Sexton spinning around. He leaves it there for Hodder. Hodder around the boards to Shepard. Chipped down by Porter. Bit of a tongue twister there. Shepard giving it back to Hodder. Hodder being pressured by Laundry. He gives it over to Shepard. And here they come ahead of steam. That's turned over. Porter leaving it back for Shepard. Shepard coming up the ice. He gets around one and he dumps it down into the corner. Curry plays it around the boards. It takes a weird bounce out to Witten. He couldn't get the shot on goal. It was blocked in front by Laundry. Here come the Tri-Pen Osprey. It's Sparks cutting in. He shoots and knocked away by Clay Ryan. Witten up ice to Curnow. Curnow coming in. Curnow still going with it. He shoots. Saved in net by Curry. Out to the point to Hodder. He gives it back to Witten. He's checked into the boards by Byrne. Looks like the net is off. So the play is blown dead. And folks, this is no shortage of a physical game. Lots of checks so far. So 1-0. 14:38 left in the first period. Witten fires it on net. That's knocked away by Curry. Tri-Pen trying to get it out of their zone. It's Harris leading the charge. He cuts across center, now across the blue. He shoots. Redirected away by Clay Ryan, and that goes way up and up over the glass, stopping play. Here's Kennedy. He fires on net. That was a quick shot off the draw. But Clay Ryan's reflexes had to be tested then, and he gloves it down calm, cool, and collected. Now Butler chipping it up to Hiscock. They try to battle it free. Dumped back in by Sparks. Left down behind the net by Cooper. He plays it around the boards to Goss. And now here's Matthew Butler cutting in. Butler leaves it for Hiscock. That heads out to the blue line. Here's Cooper playing it down low to Butler. Butler back to Cooper. That's turned over, and here come the Osprey. Icing waved off. Goss down behind the net. Goss cutting up the ice here. He's still going. Cole Goss leaving it for Butler. Butler still trying to power it through, and that's saved in goal by Curry. So this is one of two teams the Pinnacle Growlers lost against this season. They lost to the Tri-Pen Osprey once 2-1. Here's Witten breaking free. He shoots, and that's gloved down by Curry. Witten out to the point to Devereaux. He feeds it down low. Vitch to Curnow. Curnow trying to play it back around the boards. Curnow still trying to battle for it. What a play by Ian Walsh, preventing that potentially dangerous attack from the Pinnacle Growlers. It's Dawes spinning around and playing it up the ice. Daw cutting back. He gives it to Vitch. Vitch over to Curnow. That hops over everybody's stick. Whalen plays it down low, turned over to Witten. And now here's Vitch. Oh, he loses it. Ride out, cutting by. Devereaux executing a wonderful back check. Reardon trying to get it by to Ride out. It comes back out to Reardon. Reardon coming in. He couldn't get the shot off. He has an assist so far this game. Fed around the boards to Devereaux. Devereaux up to Curnow. He gives it to Witten. Here goes Ronan Witten. That heads down into the corner. Witten battling on the boards. Curnew's going to come in and help. Witten still trying to poke it free, and now here come Tri-Pen. Fowler checked on the play. He still has it. Fowler out to Crane. He shoots. That's blocked in front. Dawson and Shepard tangled up there. Byrne feeding it across. Here's Crane. He chips it in. Fowler coming in. He feeds it across. Oh my, Dawson almost got there. Could have been a 2-0 game then. Fowler, who scored the first goal of this game. Here's Dawson to Crane. Fowler and Crane have been red hot tonight. Crane in again, and Clay Ryan getting the pad across and making a wonderful save. He got over it just in time to keep that puck out of the net, and it's still a 1-0 game with 11:29 left in the first period. Out to the point, Green steps in, he shoots, that's blocked in front. Goss trying to power it by. Here's Porter. Porter turns it over out front to Sparks, he shoots, that's blocked. Cooper's going to feel that one tomorrow. Here's Cleary trying to play it down the ice, blocked by Sexton. Goss to Cooper. Cooper fakes Laundry. He gives it back to Goss. Here's Sexton. Sexton coming down the side. Sexton trying to power his way through here. Cleary still going with it. That heads out to Daw. He backhands it, and that will go out to the blue line. Goss fires it on net. Cleary and Sexton try to get for the redirect, but it is covered by Curry. There's Green battling on the boards with Butler. Butler will come away with it. Green coming back in with pressure, and now Tri-Pen break free. Laundry to Tucker. Tucker, and he is called offsides. Fed over to Whalen. Whalen playing it off the boards to Sparks. He ran into Daw on the play. Butler cutting across Laundry. He gives it to Devereaux. Devereaux faking the pass up the ice to Walsh. Walsh feeding it over to Daw. Walsh pressuring Whalen. That heads around the boards to Butler. Butler trying to battle forward. Walsh. Back down to Butler. Hiscock picking it up. Hiscock's trying to get it by Devereaux. Dumping it back down. Butler out front to Hiscock. He shoots, and Curry makes a save. Devereaux shoots to Laundry, and Laundry blocks it. What a play by Laundry. Had a bit of trouble getting back up, and now here come Tri-Pen the other way. It's Whalen getting by Daw. Sparks trying to play it out front. He fanned on it. Played up the ice, that's turned over. Tri-Pen trying to get it back in. Sparks fans on it. Walsh cutting by here. Walsh loses it. Here come Tri-Pen the other way. Reardon turns that over to Hiscock. Daw back to Hiscock. Hiscock giving it to Daw. That heads around the boards. And the Pinnacle Growlers trying to get a breakthrough here. Banked off the boards by Hiscock. He turns that over, and that's played down the ice. Pinnacle Growlers have had a bit of trouble on offense this game. They're looking to get that back to where it was yesterday afternoon. Here comes Tri-Pen. That's played back in by Shepard. What a check by Young. That's raking Young, laying the body on Drew Shepard. Here's Young playing it off the boards. And Clay Ryan will cover. Played out to the point to Harris. He shoots. They still try to poke away for it. Trypin trying to get the second goal on the board. Here's Skinner over to Huzzy. Connor Huzzy on his way in. He dumps it down. Green battling with Huzzy on the boards. Huzzy gets it back. He tried to get it to Skinner. That heads down into the corner. Harris plays it up ice, losing it to Witten. Skinner picks it up. He shoots, and it's still free out in front. Dumped on down the ice. Hodder left to chase. Ryan leaves it for Hodder. Oh no, he's going to choose to spin it around the boards. Pitcher. It heads out to the blue line to Harris. Harris around the boards. Hodder pushing it through. That's turned over to Witten. Witten trying to power by. Turns it over to Tucker. Tucker shoots, and Clay Ryan, another save and goal for him. He's had a lot of shots on him. Both goalies have had shots, and we have our first penalty of the night. Evan Tucker heads the box. That'll be 2 minutes for tripping. One out to Goss. Goss feeding it over to Butler. Matthew Butler steps in. That's blocked. Back out to the point to Goss. Goss to Hiscock to Goss again. Goss shoots. Still trying to power it by, and Shepard couldn't fit it through. That's dumped down the ice. Ryan leaves it there for Goss. Goss coming up the ice. Here he goes. Goss leaves it back for Hiscock. Hiscock to Butler. Butler dumping it down. Walsh gives it to Shepard. Shepard down behind the net. He gives it back out to Walsh. Walsh stepping in, trying to get it over to Butler. Goss keeps it in. He gives it to Butler. Butler trying to get in here. Shepard. Walsh dumping it. That takes a weird bounce off the boards. Fowler wasn't expecting that. Walsh getting it back. He gives it to Butler. Here goes Matthew Butler. Look at the moves from him. Butler out to the point to Goss. Butler got laid out there by Walsh. Goss steps in and shoots. It's still free out in front and cleared down the ice. Walsh gets it back. Giving it to Devereaux. Here goes Devereaux. Devereaux cutting across the blue line. Porter keeps it in. Porter to Devereaux. Devereaux to Porter. Still out front to Daw. That's fired over the goal. Now Devereaux just keeping it in the zone. Young tried to go for the diving poke check. Out to the point to Porter again. Porter to Devereaux. He fans on the shot. It looks like the play is blown dead with 1 second left on the power play. So Evan Tucker's going to have to wait for a little bit longer to come out of the box. That is unfortunate for him. Got a feel for him. Porter getting it out to Sexton. He tried to play it back. And Daw gets it. Daw over to Sexton. He leaves that for Porter. Porter over to Daw. Daw to Sexton. That's played back up the ice. Sparks up to Laundry. Daw's going to chase it down. Oh, it skips over his stick. Laundry playing it out front. Devereaux dumping it down the ice. Here's Harris getting it back. Harris over to Whalen. Whalen up to Sparks. And he loses that to Reardon. Reardon stopping and spinning. Devereaux holds him on the boards. Laundry and Porter come in to help. Laundry battling with Sexton on the boards. They're trying to poke it free. Kept in the zone by Laundry. Out to the point to Sparks. He fires. Knocked away by Ryan. and dumped down the ice. Sparks up to Laundry. Laundry back to Reardon. Reardon fires wide of the net. And now Huzzy tries to get it up the ice. It's Cole Cooper who will pick it up. Dumped down Curry. Gets it back. Being pressured by Skinner and Huzzy. Cooper. Shot. That's blocked. Cooper still with it here. He tries to give it back to the Cole Goss. Goss dumping it down. Whalen kicks it forward. He gives it over to Sparks. Sparks. Tri-Pen coming in on the attack. Kennedy is going to chase Goss down here. The ref's arm is raised. We got another Tri-Pen penalty coming up. And it's for Dylan Whalen. He slashed a stick right out of Michael Skinner's hands. And it's going to be an interference call. Witten winning it to Vitch. He gives that to Cooper. Cooper to Witten. Witten shoots, that heads wide and scares a few people down by the glass. It's not very pleasing when you see a puck coming at you about 70 miles an hour. Here's Cooper. Cooper up to Witten. Witten spinning back around. He tries to give it over to Vitch. Cooper chasing down the ice. Young tries to play it back in. Vitch. That's heads out to Curnew. Curnew to Witten. Witten cutting back through. Here he goes. Ronan Witten on his way in. Coming back around Young. Witten out to the point to Shepard. Shepard to Witten. Witten plays it out front to Hodder. Just gets over his stick. Out to the point to Shepard. He keeps that in. Hodder down low to Vitch. Vitch to Hodder. Hodder back to Vitch. Vitch back to Hodder. Dynamic duo there. Shepard fires on goal. Redirected. Hodder. Hodder and Curnew on the boards. Hodder gives it to Curnew. Curnew to Vitch. To Hodder. Hodder fires and saved in net by Curry. 1:39 left of the first, and it's 1-0 for Tri-Pen. 18 seconds left on that power play. Butler tried to get it by the ref's foot was there. Ryan leaving it back for Goss. Goss waiting. He feeds it over to Daw. Butler tries to get it to Walsh. Walsh gets it back over to Goss. Butler tried to leave it then, and that's dumped down the ice. Goss will pick it back up. Goss over to Daw. Walsh picks it up. Walsh over to Goss. Here goes Goss across the blue line. Even strength once again. Goss still going. He is cross-checked down. No call on the play. Here's Butler. Butler still going with it. He gives it to Walsh. Walsh out there to Hiscock. He scores! Regan Hiscock. And the Pinnacle Growlers have got what they wanted. It's a fabulous pass from Matthew Butler right out to Regan Hiscock. That's his 28th of the season. So it's 1-1. 42.2 seconds left in the first period. 1-1 in 1. Here's Crane getting by Devereaux. Battles with Cooper. Out to the point to Walsh. He fires on goal. That's redirected wide. Fowler shoots off the back end of the net. Here's Cleary with it. He gives it back to Hodder. Hodder around the boards to Devereaux. Devereaux back to Hodder. The Pinnacle Growlers looking for one last rush. Here's Porter intercepting. Porter up to Cleary. Cleary couldn't get his stick on it. And that is an icing call. 12 seconds on the dot left in this first period. Here's Cooper giving it back for Hodder. Porter's going to take that job over. Glove down by Green. He tried to get one last shot on net, and that's going to do it for the first period. So the final score after one, it's 1-1. Tie game. So we'll keep the stream going. I'll be back once the second period commences. Thank you, folks, and enjoy your break. All right, welcome back, folks, to the second period of play in this game between the Tri-Pen Osprey and the Pinnacle Growlers. It is 1-1 heading into the second period. So, folks, it looks like Alex Crane tweaked a little bit. I was just informed then that it looks like he is okay, but it looks like he tweaked something. All right, folks, here we go. Second period of play underway. It is the Pinnacle Growlers and the Tri-Pen Osprey. Fired on goal, freed up front by Fowler. Oh my goodness. Kyle Fowler could have 10 goals so far tonight by the way he's playing. That's fired up and over the glass. Oh, so it looks like the number 9 that we were talking about isn't Alex Crane, it was Nick Devereaux. I don't see him on the bench anywhere over there. So it was him who went off, so hopefully he is okay. Here's Walsh. He turns that over down behind the net. Freed out front to Crane. Tries to fire. Tucker didn't know where that was. And now here goes Walsh. Walsh cutting in on the inside. It's still free up front to Butler. And oh my goodness, he almost got it into the goal. He was checked on the boards. He is okay. So this game is starting to become pretty chippy, folks. Pretty chippy play here in this game. Shepard turns that over to Laundry. That bounces out to the point to Green. Green shoots, that heads wide of the net. Here comes Matthew Butler. Butler leaving it for Hiscock. Back to Butler. He scores! Matthew Butler. Wonderful passing between those two. Tic-tac-toe. And right into the goal. It is 2-1 for the Pinnacle Growlers. They've taken the lead. Matthew Butler's 15th goal of the season, his 38th point. And that is Regan Hiscock's 43rd point of the season and his 15th assist. So the ref just had to go tell the backup goalie of the Tri-Pen Osprey, Jacob French, to put on his helmet. Safety first, folks. I combined folks and first just then. So safety first. Goss down behind the net. Laundry laying in the pressure. Cooper gets it on the boards. He spins back around. Cooper down behind the net. He stops again, showing off his edge work. That's dumped down the ice, and it will go down for an icing call. Reardon wins it to Laundry. Laundry out to Sparks. Sparks shoots. That hits off Cernew's mask. He had to shake that one off. Here's Sparks down behind the goal. He tried to go for the Michigan goal then, replicating Trevor Zegras. You know, he has a lot of skills with the Michigan. If you're an NHL fan, you've definitely seen him all over the highlights. Some of the best goals you'll probably ever see he has made so far this season. Cernew playing it off the boards to Cooper. Laundry gets it back. Laundry tries to play it up front. It's still free, and Clay Ryan back-to-back lovely saves. Fed over to Laundry. Laundry over to Sparks. That's fired wide of the net. The ref's arm is raised, and it looks like we have a penalty coming up for the Pinnacle Growlers. So it's Cole Cooper heading to the pucks. And the Tri-Pen Osprey have a chance to make this game a tie game. One out to Sparks. He gives it to Green. Green to Sparks. Sparks back out to Green. Green shoots it. Still free out in front. Tucker couldn't jam it away. Sparks with it again. He gives that down low. Crane out to the point to Green. Green. Cross ice now to Reardon. Reardon plays it in front. Tucker tries to jam it away, and that's calmly covered up by Clay Ryan. Dawson trying to free it. The ref got tangled up in the little scram there. Whalen keeps it in. He's still trying to battle it by. Now here's Morgan Porter taking off. Porter coming in. Porter leaves it for Cleary. Cleary couldn't get to it. And now Kennedy, it just gets by him. Daw is left to chase. Played over to Fowler. Fowler heading down low. Seeing what he can do with it here. He gives it to Dawson. Dawson across. Whalen tried to get it to Laundry. He fanned on the slapper. Dawson out to Whalen. Whalen shoots it, still free out in front. Fowler, they try to jam it away, and Clay Ryan, he's playing fantastic tonight. He's made so many acrobatic saves. It's like he's in Cirque du Soleil with some of the saves he's been making tonight. Whalen over to Dawson. Dawson back to Whalen. Whalen fires redirected in front. They still try to jam it away. 20 seconds left on that power play. Laundry giving it over to Fowler. Fowler feeding it to Reardon. Reardon over to Whalen. He tries to get it on goal. They still try to jam it away. Hodder battles with Fowler on the boards. Laundry. We're back to even strength now. Laundry cutting by. Over to Reardon. He shoots. He scores! The ref says no goal because the net came off. So the goal is waved off, but what an assist that would have been. It was a nice shot. But Damian Laundry with a beautiful pass cross ice. Maybe we could get a video review on the go here. So Damian Laundry is heading to the box. So the Pinnacle Growlers will be on the power play. So as I mentioned, we should probably get a video review system on the go where they can go back and watch the stream and see if the net did come off. We are currently working on, OES with scoreboards and graphics and everything. So hopefully that'll be coming by the playoffs. That's what we are hoping. Here's Goss with it down behind the net. Goss leaves it back for Butler. Here goes Matthew Butler. Cutting up the ice. He still nearly got by pitcher. That's called for offsides. Here's Hiscock. He gives it out to Shepard. Shepard to Goss. Goss tried to give it to Walsh. Here's Shepard with it again. Shepard out to Goss. Goss fakes a slap shot to Butler, back to Shepard. Hiscock feeding it over. They still try to jam it away. Butler out to the point to Goss, who scored an overtime winner against the Tri-Pen Osprey. Cross ice to Hiscock. Walsh fires. That heads over the goal and bounces off the linesman's skates. Here's Butler. Butler coming in. He's seeing what he can do here. Butler stepping in and shooting. That hit a body in front of the net. Back out to Butler. 45 seconds left of this power play. Now that just gets by, and Walsh is left to chase. Walsh with loads of space gives it up to Hiscock, and he turns that over and dumped down by Harris. Goss gets that back. Goss nearly lost it. He manages to get it up to Shepard. Walsh back to Shepard. Shepard feeding it over. Hiscock out to the point to Cooper. Cooper over to Shepard. Shepard was looking for the one-timer then. Couldn't seem to get it in time. Walsh over to Cooper. Back out to the point to Cooper again. Cooper stepping in. He gives that down to Shepard. And now we are about to go back to even strength, and we are now. Witten trying to poke it by, and the Tri-Pen special teams comes through big time. Laundry trying to get it by. And Cooper is brought down, and Hiscock almost got by, and the whistle was blown. Over to Walsh. Walsh plays it up the ice to Tucker. He gets it in. Sparks. Picking it up. He heads in across the blue line. Trying to get it cross ice. Laundry. Tries to battle for it. Out to the point to Walsh. Walsh giving it back down to Laundry. And Witten will intercept it on the boards. Laundry trying to get it back, and he does. He plays it back in, and Dahl will intercept it. Dahl cuts it across the top. He gets by Laundry and Sparks. Now we got a bit of a battle on the boards then. Seemed like Owen Sparks was trying to take Cernew's feet out from under him, and this game is starting to get chippy, folks. Takes a weird bounce out to Tucker. That's turned over. Cernew trying to get by, dump back in. Ref's arm is raised for offside, so Tri-Pen having a bit of trouble changing, and offsides is called, and Whalen giving Vitch a little push after the whistle. Tensions in this game, folks, are starting to rise like the gas prices in Newfoundland. Out to Shepard. He keeps that in. Nearly took a bounce off Skinner. Shepard giving it over to Goss. He dumps it in around the boards. Shepard fires it on goal, and Fowler dumps it down the ice. Icing waved off. Shepard gets there just in time. Goss spinning around Crane. He gives that over to Shepard. Shepard up to Skinner. Over to Goss. Goss to Randall. Randall giving it over to Huzzy. Here goes Huzzy. Huzzy playing it down to Skinner. Skinner to Randall to Huzzy. Huzzy loses that to Byrne. Byrne plays it around the boards to Fowler. And Goss will intercept. That bounces off the boards to Huzzy. Huzzy out to the point to Goss. Goss over to Cooper. Cooper fakes the shot. He walks across the hash marks. He shoots, and saved in goal. Huzzy wasn't there for the rebound. He almost got a stick on it. Cooper Turns that over to Fowler. In walks Fowler to Crane. He shot. Oh my, I thought that went in for a second then. It looked like it did from my angle. Just wide of the net. I'm sure the Pinnacle Growlers are breathing a sigh of relief. Those two have very good chemistry. I thought for sure that puck hit the back end of the net, but it went just wide. I made most of the people here in the warm room jump about 10 feet in the air. I gave them such a fright with that yell. Pitcher giving it back to Reardon. He shoots and he scores! And there it is, Christian Reardon, his 6th goal of the season. And it's 2-2, even Steven at DF Barnes Arena. So that last play was a false alarm, folks. A false alarm. Christian Reardon comes back the other way and puts it in. And it's 2-2. Porter giving it to Cleary. Cleary playing it down the ice. Green up to Pitcher. Pitcher tries to clear it away. Daw keeps it in. Pitcher giving it back to Green. Green over to Harris. He gives that back to Pitcher, and that's kicked in deep. Daw heads down behind the net. Daw still trying to poke it free. Dawson and Daw battling on the boards. Fed down to Dawson again, and Porter getting a little check on him. Harris keeps it in. Porter trying to jam it by. That's dumped down, hitting off Hodder's stick. Hodder gains it back. He feeds that off the boards. Daw up to Cleary. Cleary feeding it over to Porter. Cleary trying to jam it by. Rideout getting it back. Young cutting in. Young shoots. That heads wide of the net. Bouncing it out front. Luckily Shepard's there. Glove down by Kennedy. Kennedy to Tucker. Tucker stepping in. Feeding it down low. Trypen trying to get the breakthrough here. Up comes Morgan Porter. 8:25 left of the second period. Now Trypen trying to get it out here. Porter plays it down, and Green will gain it back. Battling Sexton on the boards. Green comes away with it. Kennedy. Here's Harris. Harris leaving it here for Green. And now Walsh turns that over to Sparks. He gets it back, and he gives it to Regan Hiscock. Hiscock zipping by. Green with speed. Hiscock in, and saved in goal by Curry. Fantastic save by him. The whistle's blown. We got a bit of a scrap down by the boards. So I said tensions were high, but I didn't know they get this high now, so the referees are calming this down, the refs and the linesmen. So, folks, no penalties will be handed out on the play. I'd like to mention Nick Devereaux hasn't come back yet, so not sure if it's anything serious, or we'll have to get a little update for you guys. Sparks trying to get it by. He dumps it down, and Butler gloves it. Here's Dahl. He gives it over to Cooper. That's dumped down the ice. Walsh gets it back. He tries to get it out front. Now here comes Trypen the other way. Reardon playing it in. Hiscock dancing around Sparks. Here he goes. Regan Hiscock on his way in. Hiscock nearly gets by the last defender in the way. Here's Hiscock with it again. Trying to get it down low. Walsh stepping in and laying the body. Giving it to Butler. Reardon getting shoved off the puck, and Walsh Dumping it up the ice. That's knocked by. And now here come Trypen. It's a 3-on-1. Laundry, Reardon, Sparks. Laundry nearly got it then. What a look that was from Christian Sparks. Almost getting it down to Damian Laundry. That would have been his 13th goal this season. But the Growlers' defense gets in the way. Butler tried to get it down to Hiscock. He couldn't get a stick on it. And he cuts across the top. Here's Cooper. Firing it wide of the net. Hiscock is going to get it. And we have a net dislodged. So we just got an injury update. Nick Devereaux, has a bad Charlie horse. I was just thinking Mike O'Brien gave us the update, so combine Nick and Mike O'Brien. Nick O'Brien. But it's Nick Devereaux. He had a bad Charlie horse, so hopefully he'll be back soon. Here's Vitch. Cutting in, he shoots. That's knocked away by Curry in goal. Byrne lost his glove in front of the net. Vitch trying to power it through here. That's banked off the boards, and Byrne gets it back. Fed up the ice and dumped in. Goss around the boards to Hodder. Took a weird bounce off the net, and now here's Ronan Witten banking it off the boards. Vitch takes down Byrne. Dawson. That gets by him, and now Goss gets it back over to Hodder. Hodder nearly lost it to Dawson. Goss gets it back. He gives it to Hodder. Here's Hodder up the ice. The Pinnacle Growlers trying to get a breakthrough here. Curnew dumping it down. Byrne is going to chase it. That's fed around the boards. Goss up to Witten. Witten plays it down, and Byrne is going to intercept it again. 5 minutes left of the second. Here's Pitcher. Pitcher coming in. That's blocked. Tries to get that back out to Tucker, and that's intercepted by Randall up to Huzzy. Rideout gets it, and he dumps it down. Here's Daw picking it up. Daw coming up the ice. That heads out to Harris. He holds the line well. Fed over to Skinner. Or Huzzy, rather. Green chipping it up and way up high. Nearly hitting the ceiling. Over to Huzzy. Kept in by Green. Pitcher. Over to Rideout. He plays that down low, and Shepard tries to get it back. Tucker. Still trying to jam it by. Pitcher is going to free it here. Fed out to the point. Harris back down low. Shepard and Pitcher tangled up on the boards. And Pitcher gets back at Shepard, or Tucker gets back at Shepard. Both of them are down in the corner. So, folks, this game is getting heated. Here's Daw. Daw down behind the net. It comes out front and nearly bounced into the goal. Here comes Trypen. Rideout. Turns that over to Cooper. Cooper coming in. He almost lost it. Goss is back there. And that heads down for an icing call. 3:16 left in the second period. 2-2. So goal each period that we've had so far. Liam Hickey's Paralympic journey begins tonight, if I am correct. So he starts that tonight. He got a silver medal in Pyeongchang last Olympics. He's looking to make that a gold medal. So we're certainly all cheering him on here in Newfoundland, and we are all very proud of him. Porter chips it in. Icing is waved off. And oh my goodness, Morgan Porter checked Jesse Harrison to the boards. He went down holding his head, but he is back up and okay. Here's Goss with it again. He heads down behind the net. Goss working his way up the ice. Kennedy gets it back. Kennedy out front. That goes back out to Walsh. Play down into the corner. Kennedy, and we have another tri-pen penalty coming up. So the Pinnacle Growlers will push out their special teams line, and they'll be back on the power play. So that penalty is a trip. A tripping minor. Reardon dumping it down the ice. Ryan's going to give it to Goss. Here's Cole Goss coming down the ice. Goss leaving it back for Walsh. Walsh being pressured by Laundrie, gives that to Shepard. Shepard over to Butler, he shoots. Saved in goal by Curry and played down the ice. Here's Goss with it. Goss working his way up the ice. He gives that back to Hiscock. Leaving it there for Butler. Butler dumping it down. Walsh is chasing. Walsh trying to poke it through here. Shepard keeps it in. Shepard over to Goss. Tried to give it back to Walsh. Hiscock gets it back. He's brought down. Goss feeding it over to Butler. Butler to Hiscock. Hiscock shoots just wide of the net. And that is played down the ice. Ryan's going to come out. And he dumps that back up. Walsh up to Shepard. Here goes Shepard. He leaves that back for Hiscock. And now here come Tri-Pen. That's denied by Hiscock. And Porter is going to chase that down the ice. Porter up to Witten. Here's Witten coming back the other way. Witten, and he is caught off sides. So, folks, we'd also like to mention Brad Guju is playing in the Brier. He goes from the Olympics to the Brier, and he won his first game yesterday. He beat Quebec 9-3, so we are also rooting him on as well. Lots of Newfoundlanders in the sporting world making a boom for sure. So it looks like we have a hand movement. And he also beat, just got an update. And also Team Newfoundland also beat Yukon. So Brad Guju was the wild card. And Team Newfoundland, so we got two Team Newfoundlands in the Brier this year. So both of them are 1-0. That is great to see. Here's Reardon over to Sparks. Sparks shoots wide of the net. Oh, that was a close call. And now here's Ronan Witten the other way. 25 seconds left. Witten gets by, and that's dumped down the ice. It takes a redirection. We're back to even strength. Cooper down behind the net. He gives that over to Cornu. Cornu to Witten. Witten cuts in, and Vitch dumps that down into the corner. Now maybe one last chance for the Pinnacle Growlers. Not enough time, and we got a bit of pushing and shoving after the final buzzer. So, folks, a crazy way to end the second period, but same as the first. We'll be back once the third period commences. The stream will be going, but I will be back. Then enjoy your break. The final score after 2 is 2-2. Thank you. All right, folks, welcome back. Third and final period of play. And also, I got the name of the other curlers. So we got Brad Guju and Nathan Young, both representing Newfoundland as skips. And they both started 1-0. So, what a start. What a start to the Brier. The future of Newfoundland curling and Newfoundland sports is in great hands. We got Alex Newhook, Dawson Mercer, Clark Bishop, and maybe someday one of the players out here. We might see one of them. We know Matthew Butler and Ewan Cleary are being scouted by the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, which is pretty cool, so maybe we will be rooting them on in the NHL one day. That's a call for offsides there. Butler wins it through to Hiscock. Hiscock feeds it over to Butler. Butler out to Shepard, back to Butler again. Shepard shoots, that's redirected wide of the goal. Harris nearly lost that to Butler, and here come the Tri-Pen Osprey. Walsh intercepts that and dumps it back down. So Nick Devereaux's night is over. I did see him come out undressed. He was in his Pinnacle Growlers hoodie, so that is the end of the night for him. Hopefully, he will be back tomorrow. But that Charlie horse must have been pretty bad, but we are definitely hoping that he's going to be back. Here's Butler. What a move from Butler in, and saved in goal by Curry. Fired on net by Goss. That heads wide. Here's Crane. Crane cutting in. He shoots off the bar. And goes up and hits the ceiling. But what a shot that would have been from Crane. Would have been a shot that you would see for a long, long time. Reardon wins the draw back. Played in by Walsh. Fired on goal. That heads wide. Here's Curnew with it. He heads down low. He drops that behind. And Cooper gets that back. Cooper down behind the net. Feeds it up ice to Curnew. He loses that to Walsh, and he's playing fantastic here tonight. Here's Laundry in. That's blocked by Goss. Shot again off the post. Oh my, we know Tri-Pen's iron levels aren't low with all the posts they've hit here tonight. Now that bounces out front. Reardon gets that back. Up to Spark. Sparks cutting across the top. He's still going with it. He tried to get it down to Reardon, but the Growlers' defense gets in the way. Byrne tried to grab that down. Vitch laying in the pressure. He gives that over to Walsh. Walsh plays it up the ice. Here comes Tri-Pen. It's Byrne who dumps it down into the corner. Dog gets that back. He gives it up to Sexton. Sexton leaves it for Cleary, and he gets that back and dumps it down. Oh, it takes a weird bounce out front. Curry poked that away. Cleary out to Porter. He loses that, and here comes Tri-Pen the other way. Kennedy to Byrne. Byrne checked into the boards. Here's Don. We got a penalty coming up. Oh, wait, my apologies. That was for offsides. I thought it was a penalty after that check on the boards. Dumped up and over the glass by Byrne. And we will have a whistle with 16:53 left in the third. It's 2-2. So, folks, for those of you Growlers fans out here, we got Growlers here and Growlers down at the Mary Brown Center. It's 4-0 for the Newfoundland Growlers down there against the Adirondack Thunder, so they can go on a 2-game home winning streak. Here's Randall down on the boards. He Gets it out to Huzzy. Huzzy lost it, and Green plays it up the ice. Here's Pitcher. Dumps it down and gets by everybody and heads down for an icing call. Randall wins that out to Shepard. Shepard fires on net. That's redirected wide of the goal. Dumped down into the corner. Picked up by Shepard. Shepard up ice. Skinner. Over to Hodder. That goes up and over the boards once again. And after 2 periods in the Bigs Avalon Junior Capitals game, it's 5-0 for the CBR Renegades. But that game isn't over just yet. There's still time for the Bigs Avalon Junior Capitals to come back from that one. But right now it's 2-2 here in this game. As Crane plays that puck down into the corner. He gets that back out front. A quick little give-and-go feed there. Cooper coming away with it. He gives that up to Hiscock. Hiscock's checked into the boards. He still comes away with it. Hiscock drops that back to Goss. Goss flipping it over to Walsh. Walsh cuts across the blue line. Walsh loses that to Reardon. And that is dumped down the ice. Crane is going to chase, but he can't get there in time, and it is an icing call. Butler tried to win it back. He lost that to Whalen, and Walsh plays it around the boards. Laundry heading down. Ran into Cooper. Hiscock heading down behind the net. Hiscock up to Cooper. Cooper cutting in. He turns that over to Laundry. Laundry battles with Cooper on the boards. Laundry across the top. He shoots. That heads over the net. Here's Goss over to Cooper. Cooper spins around Dawson. You lose that to Laundry. That goes out front, and luckily Clay Ryan gets his stick in the way and covers it up. Tucker tries to win it back to the point, and now here goes Curnew. Curnew nearly gets it over to Vitch. A diving defensive play by Cameron Byrne. Fired on goal from the side by Raken Young. And now here come the Pinnacle Growlers back the other way. It's Andrew Vitch, and that is caught offsides. And oh my goodness! A check after the whistle by Jacob Kennedy to Tyler Curnew. And Tri-Pen weren't too happy about the shot after the whistle. So Jacob Kennedy is heading to the box. And I'm not sure if Ronan Witten heard the whistle or not. Maybe he just fired it on goal thinking the play was continuing. And Witten and Harris exchanging words before the draw then. And here's Fowler bursting by. He shoots. That's knocked away by Ryan. So it's a 2-minute roughing call, as you could probably hear from the rink announcer. And here's Witten cutting down the side here. Witten down behind the goal. Witten out to Daw. Daw shoots. That's blocked in front of the goal by Kyle Fowler. Played up to Daw. Here's Daw with it again. He leaves that back behind. Here comes Morgan Porter. Porter cutting across the blue line. He stops and waits. Porter giving it down low to Walsh. It just gets over his stick. Green. That's directed away by Goss. Goss gets it back. Goss still going with it. Showing his edge work there. 50 seconds left on this power play. Hiscock cutting in. Reardon dumping it down the ice. As Trypan heads for a change. Goss checks behind him. Seeing what he can do here. This might be a dangerous rush coming up. Here comes Cole Goss. Goss giving it back to Shepard. He feeds that over to Walsh, and that's dumped down the ice. Ryan leaves that for Shepard. Shepard up to Goss. Here's Goss stopping and waiting. Oh, over to Shepard. He shoots. Saved in goal by Curry. Here's Walsh again. Walsh out to the point to Goss. Goss steps in and shoots, and that's blocked by Laundry. We're back to even strength. Goss gets that back again. He shoots. Oh, redirected off the bar, and the net does come off. So a chaotic past few minutes of this game. It's going to be an extraordinary finish to this game. 2-2, tie game. Dylan Whalen heads off the ice. Looks like got a little bit hurt. Here's Porter. He wins that back to the point to Cooper. He fires that on net, and that's knocked away by Curry. Cleary to Porter. Porter to Cooper. He dumps that back in. Sexton battles with Harris on the boards. Sexton trying to poke it free. Cleary gets that by, and he battles with Green on the boards. Sexton coming out front, and he's checked by Young. And Sexton is down on the ice. He's slow to get back to his feet. Play continues, and that hits the netting. So luckily, Reese Sexton is okay. He's a little bit shaken up. So this game is starting to get very heated, folks. I've said it a bunch of times, but tensions are at an all-time high here. And now here goes Pitcher. Pitcher coming in. Randall is going to chase that. Randall stopping down behind the goal. He leaves that there for Hodder. Here's Randall again. Skinner is going to lay on the pressure to Harris. Here's Green. Green dumps that way down the ice. Cooper around the boards, and here come the Pinnacle Growlers. Dump back in by Green. Cooper gets that back. He spins around Crane, and his stick goes flying. Skinner absorbs that hit. Crane gets that back, and that is back into Trypan zone. Fowler dumping it down into the corner. Here's Tucker with it. He fires that on goal. That's blocked. Tucker gives it out to the blue line. Fired on goal. Redirected in front, and Clay Ryan is there. How did he see that? There was at least 4 bodies in front of the net. And Clay Ryan still gets the save, plus a deflection. Out to the point, dump back in. Crane picks that up. He tries to get that out front. Here's Witten playing that down the ice, and that's turned back over and dumped back in. Crane with it again. He plays that back in. And Laundry picks it up. Laundry to Crane. Crane danced around everybody, just squeezed out of the zone. Here goes Goss. Goss spinning back around. He gives that over to Daw. Cornu playing it back into the corner. Vitch tries to play it out front, and the net comes off once again. So, folks, if the game continues to go the way that it is going, we could see overtime. Walsh shoots and scores! Brady Walsh, just as I said, if it keeps going this way, it'll go to overtime. But Brady Walsh says no, 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 right off the draw and puts it through the 5-hole. It's his 11th of the season, and it's 3-2. So it's that dream team of Walsh, Butler, and Hiscock on the same line. They have been stellar all year. And this game is 3-2, 9:38 left. And maybe that could be the decisive goal. Shepard leaving it over for Hodder. Whalen gets that back. Played in. That bounces off the boards, and Shepard gets it back. Shepard playing it up the ice to Butler. Butler over to Walsh. Walsh feeding over to Hiscock. He shoots and scores! Regan Hiscock! And will it turn out to be the two-punch knockout? Regan Hiscock roofs it top corner. Right up in the top shelf where Mommy hides the cookies. That is Regan Hiscock's 29th of the season. He's 1 off 30. And that is an unbelievable shot from Regan Hiscock. And maybe, just maybe, that will do it. But there's still 9 minutes left on the clock. Tri-Pen still can get back into this game, but that could be the decisive goal. But we do know the commentator's curse. Usually a commentator jinxes a lot of things, so we'll have to see. Still loads of time for Tri-Pen to get back into this game. It only takes a second to score a goal. And there's still 9 minutes left of the third period. 4-2, 2 quick goals for the Pinnacle Growlers. Here's Sexton. That's dumped down the ice, and Hodder is left to chase it. Hodder down behind the net. He leaves it there for Shepard. That's turned over in front of the goal. Green steps in and fires. Saved in front by Clay Ryan, and we got a bit of pushing and shoving. Drew Shepard and Jacob Kennedy. Tucker wins that out to the point to Harris. Harris shoots, that's blocked in front. Kennedy fires. Here's Cleary. Cleary stepping up the ice, he dumps that down. And Harris is left to chase. Here come the Tri-Pen Osprey. Cleared down, Shepard is going to chase that down the ice. And the ref's arm is raised, and we have a penalty coming up towards the Pinnacle Growlers. So it's Ewan Cleary heading to the box. One back out to the point. Here's Sparks. Sparks fires out on net. It redirected. They still try to jam away at it, and Clay Ryan sprawls out and covers that up. Almost going into the net. Reardon gets that. He blows a tire. The Growlers nearly had a golden opportunity to make this a 3-goal game. Here's Green. Green plays that down low, and Crane has it down behind the net. Sparks over to Green. Green fakes that slap shot, takes his time, and fires wide of the goal. Crane down behind the net. Green fires that on goal. Redirected in front. They still jam away. Laundry puts that over the goal. Dumped down the ice. Curry is going to play that. He dishes that up to Sparks. Sparks giving that back to Green. Green to Reardon, and Reardon is going to see what he can do here. Heading up with steam, he drops that back to the captain. Green up to Crane. Crane back to Green. Green Sparks. Plays it down to Crane. Crane battling on the boards. That heads out to the point. Sparks tees it up and fires that. Heads wide. They still try to jam it away. Laundry, and the net comes off, and we got some pushing and shoving once again in front of the net. Alex Crane saying, let's get physical on the play down behind the net. Here's Walsh. Walsh and Goss battling on the boards. Goss is going to poke that free to Walsh. Here's Kennedy out to the point to Walsh. He feeds that across to Fowler. Fowler shoots, redirected in front. They still try to jam away. And Shepard picking up for Clay Ryan. He's not going to let Evan Tucker poke away at the netminder. So remember, there is another game, 11 o'clock tomorrow morning between these two teams. So that is a early game. And that will be right here on the Pinnacle Growlers YouTube channel. So that is 11 o'clock tomorrow on the Pinnacle Growlers YouTube channel. And that will probably do it here for the power play for the Tri-Pen Osprey. Ewan Cleary comes out of the box. And we're back to even strength. Fed over to Green. He dumps that down into the corner. And Fowler. Oh, it bounces out to him. And Clay Ryan makes another save. .609 in the third period. 4-2. Still very much time for Tri-Pen to get back into this game. And that heads up and over the glass. Went out to the point, teed up and fired, redirected by Reardon. They still try to poke it away. Reardon around the boards to Pitcher. And now here goes Brady Walsh. Hiscock cuts in. He has 2 goals. Still hungry for that hat trick. And he is caught offsides. So one thing I'd also like to add, I was just informed by Mike O'Brien that Regan Hiscock had 4 goals last night. They score! Speaking of goals, Christian Reardon, that's his second of the night, and it's 7 goals for him on the season, and it's 4-3. Hope rekindled now for Tri-Pen, and they can still tie this game. 5:41 left in the third period, but it's not going to be easy. The Pinnacle Growlers are going to make it tough. Here's Witten. Witten turns that over. Here's Kennedy. He shoots. That was a bit of a knuckle puck. But Clay Ryan gets that. Green fires on net. Redirected off the post. Another shot. And Clay Ryan with a glove hand save. Goalie coach Mike O'Brien must have taught him right. Him and Nathan Hurley have had 2 fantastic games back to back. Clay Ryan, he is playing outstanding tonight. What a game. I mean, both goalies are playing fantastic tonight. .524, folks. This is going to be a crazy finish to this game. Don't go anywhere. Here's Cleary, dumping it down. Oh, a big hit on the boards, and the ref's arm is raised, and that will be a Tri-Pen penalty. Coming up here, it is a interference call towards Raken Young, and that's his second penalty of the night, both for interference. And also, folks, tomorrow's game is against the Central Impact, not the Tri-Pen Osprey. So my apologies for that. That is still same time, 11 o'clock. And also, the Newfoundland Growlers won 4-0 in their game against the Adirondack Thunder. Also, the CBR Renegades knocked out the Bigs Avalon Junior Capitals. They won 5-1 in that game. So the Bigs Avalon Junior Capitals almost made that extraordinary comeback from 2-0 down. But they had a fantastic season. It was a pleasure to call their games. And they lose 5-1. The player of the game is Jordan Blackwood. And that's his 3rd player of the game of the playoffs. He has just been playing fantastic. I not got word who is the player of the game for the Bigs Avalon Junior Capitals. But that is it for them on the season. And that is an offsides call against Morgan Porter. Butler to Hiscock. He feeds that over to Goss. Goss backing up. Over to Shepard. Shepard leaves that for Butler. Butler cuts in here. Matthew Butler down behind the net. He's still going with it. Out to the point. Goss keeps that in, and that's batted down by Laundrie. Butler gets that back again. Leaving that there for Cole Goss. Seems like he's been all over the puck tonight. Goss down to Walsh. Walsh shoots. That heads over the net. And now Laundrie dumps that down. 30 seconds left on the power play. Here comes Goss. Goss spinning back around. 3:30 left of this third period. Goss feeds that up to Walsh. It gets by him. Curry to Ian Walsh. He dumps that down the ice. So just 10 seconds left on the power play for the Pinnacle Growlers. Here goes Shepard. Shepard over to Walsh. He feeds that back out to Shepard. Shepard to Hiscock. Hiscock down to Cooper. Cooper cutting in, and that's blocked in front by Pitcher. 2:50 left, and here goes Fowler. Fowler cutting down the side. Fowler shoots and saved in goal by Clay Ryan. Up and hitting the netting. So a big face-off for the Tri-Pen Osprey here now. Chance to tie up this game with 2:46 left in the third period, 4-3. So I think it's an appropriate time to pick my 3 stars of the game. Going to give my 3rd star to Clay Ryan. My 2nd star to Regan Hiscock. And my 1st star to Owen Sparks. He has been all over the ice tonight. My hardest working player is also going to go to Cole Goss. He has been all over the puck tonight. Ryan is going to choose to cover that up and play it safe with 2:28 left in this third period. So I wonder how many shots on goal both of these netminders have had to face. Fired on goal, blocked in front by Cole Cooper. Played out front to Sparks, that gets by him. Walsh shoots, blocked by Sparks, or by Randall. Randall gives that over to Skinner. Skinner dumping that down. Here's Ian Walsh with it. Here's Green. Green coming up the ice. Green over to Sparks. Sparks coming in, and that's knocked away. Skinner will pick that up, and he dumps that down. Picked up by Ian Walsh. 1:50 left in the period. Here's Laundry. Laundry in. Laundry shoots, and Laundry scores! Damian Laundry. It's a tie game. The Tri-Pen Osprey, 1:46 left in the third period. They execute a 2-goal comeback, and they are fired up. Damian Laundry, his 13th of the season. That's number 30, and he gets the goal back that he missed earlier when the net came off. And boy, do we have a game now. Ian Walsh and Owen Sparks both pick up the assist, and now here's Fowler cutting in. Fowler in front, Crane tried to get it back. Over to Witten. He plays that down. Crane gets it and plays it up. Shepard intercepts. He fires. Redirected. Vitch almost getting the rebound. It hit his skate on the way in. Here's Hodder. Down to Vitch. Vitch to Curnew. Curnew shoots. That heads up in the air. Vitch getting it out front. And now here come Tri-Pen. It's Crane cutting in. Crane, he shoots. That bounces. Oh my. Nearly taking a weird bounce off of Clay Ryan's pads. Now here's Walsh with it. Ian Walsh playing it back in, and Laundry will get that back. So the goal credits for the last one. Owen Sparks picks up another assist, and Ian Walsh also got an assist. Tri-Pen trying to get one last rush here. Walsh over to Green. Green tees that up, blocked by Brady Walsh. 25 seconds left into this game. Green gloves that down, and here's Matthew Butler. Butler cutting in. Butler gets around him, and that's covered by Curry. And this could be a close finish, folks. A crucial face-off here. 18.9 seconds left of the third period. It's 4-4. This has been a weird and wacky third period. It's been rough, and there's been lots of goals. So if you're a fan of goals, this has been a good period for you. Just like old hockey. Lots of grit and goals. Here's Goss. He shoots. That's redirected wide, and Butler is going to pick that up down behind the net. He's trying to shove it in front. Just 3 seconds left here. Hiscock got to get it out front quickly, and that will conclude our third period of play. So we will go to overtime. Overtime at the DF Barnes Arena. That's the second time these two teams will go to overtime this season. The last time they went to overtime, Cole Goss scored a power play goal to get the winner. So he's looking to repeat history and do that again here tonight. So what a third period that was, folks. The Pinnacle Growlers looked like they had the win in control, but the Tri-Pen Osprey come back, a 2-goal comeback. It's 4-4 now, and we head into overtime. So get your overtime picks in the comments, who you think is going to score. What do you think the result is going to be? This is going to be a classic game for sure between these two teams. So all these players are wondering who the hero is going to be. Got to give credit to the Pinnacle Growlers defense. They were short of defense all night, so they had to play more minutes on defense. And we have a 5-minute overtime period ready to go. If I'm correct, if nobody scores during this period, we go to a shootout. Porter just keeping onside. Butler zipping by everybody. Look at these moves from Matthew Butler. Feeding it out front. Oh my goodness. Morgan Porter was almost there. Matthew Butler. Wonderful moves from him. And now here come Tri-Pen the other way. Cole Goss, the hero of the last time these two teams went to overtime. Hiscock over to Porter. Porter stepping in. He nearly gets around Harris. Porter cutting back. He turns that over to Reardon. Reardon fanned on the clearance, but luckily Green is there. Harris giving it back to Green. Harris gets that back. Harris over to Green again. Hiscock lays the body on Harris. And Laundrie cuts across the red line. He dumps that down into the corner. Cole Goss back around the boards. And then, it takes a bad bounce out front. Regan Hiscock recuperates himself. Laundrie out to Reardon. Reardon back to Laundrie. Laundrie steps in. Cooper will gain that back. Cooper cutting up the ice. He got Brady Walsh in the clear. Here's Reardon. What an interception! And Clay Ryan with another glove hand save. He is playing incredible tonight. What a game he is having. Crane, he dumps that down into the corner. Fowler gets that up. Fowler fires that on net. That's blocked in front by Hodder. And now here goes Vitch. Andrew Vitch is going to chase that. That's banked off the boards, and Fowler will play that back to Sparks. Just 3 minutes left to this overtime period. Sparks giving that over to Walsh. And I just remembered the commentator curse kicked in again here. I said that maybe the end was in sight once the Pinnacle Growlers, and they score! It's Alex Crane, and the Pinnacle Growlers are no longer undefeated on home ice. The Tri-Pen Osprey will escape with a win here tonight. It's Alex Crane, who was all over the puck all night, scores his 9th goal, number 9 for number 9, and the Tri-Pen Osprey escape with a massive win over the Pinnacle Growlers. A memorable comeback from them, down by 2 goals. Hope was dwindling for them, but they lift themselves over the Pinnacle Growlers and end their undefeated streak. So, folks, thank you all for tuning in here tonight. Be sure, everybody, to pray for Ukraine and keep them in your thoughts. Make sure to be kind to one another and stay safe. Thank you, folks. We will talk to you tomorrow morning.